We're out here at Kapaun Mount Carmel High School, joined now by one of our high school athletes of the week. It's 4A state champion Cal Purvis. He helped lead Kapaun to their first state title since 1987. Cal had 3 touchdowns in the game and was a stalwart defensively. Cal, kind of talk about what this last week's been like, your first week as a state champion.
Absolutely. Hard work at practice, great execution on Saturday. All the hard work we put in throughout the season, through the offseason, and kind of just paid off on Saturday. We came out, executed, played physical, played hard, gave it our all. So, I mean, yeah, it just feels great to come home with a ring.
And you had a big part of that win, and a big part of the entire season for Kapaun, doing everything for that team. Just kind of talk about, your versatility. You're kind of a Swiss Army knife for the team. How did you kind of mold yourself into that role, being a running back, return man, linebacker? I mean, everything for him.
Absolutely. I told Sharts before the season, I'm willing to do anything for this team as long as we get a state championship. And he put me in a lot of positions to succeed and do stuff for this team, and it took my all, but I'm glad I could perform for this team.
And you were a star linebacker for the Crusaders this last year. Kind of talk about what you guys saw defensively. You guys faced a really talented Bishop Miege offense, and you guys pretty much held your own for the most part against them. Kind of talk about the defensive game plan going into the week.
Absolutely. We game planned for their pass game a lot, but since it was super windy, I mean, they couldn't really pass very much. So their run game caught us off guard, but we ended up stopping them late in the game, and then we just got all the momentum from there.
And then getting some carries on offense. You had 3 offensive touchdowns in the first half. Kind of talk about how they use you. I mean, what's kind of the discussion when you guys get in the red zone? Is it like throwing Cal? How does that work out for you guys?
Yeah, whenever it's short yardage, they'll put me in just for a couple of yards. Whenever Ken gets tired, they'll put me in. So
Sounds like that happens a lot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So whenever Ken gets tired, they'll put me in. So give about 10 yards each time. So then they'll just rotate us back and forth. And then once we get down to the short goal line, inside the 5, they'll put me in.
Yeah, and it's not just you. It's James, it's Ken, it's Wyatt, it's Nate. I mean, you guys have so many guys that you use in the backfield. Kind of talk about the humility, or just like being humble about it and taking, checking your ego at the door. I mean, everybody could get 150 yards rushing, but for you guys to everybody kind of get their own. Kind of talk about what it takes for a team to do that.
That's kind of like our game plan. So like we have like 3 rotations of backfields, which that can kill a defense quickly. And so whenever we rotate, we got fresh backs in the backfield ready to go at all times. And so, like, especially with our O-line, how good they played this season, there's couldn't much we could have done.
And you talk about embracing the elements on Saturday. It was freezing cold out there on the field, 5-degree wind chills. It was nice and warm up in the press box, but down the field it had to be brutal. Kind of talk about how you guys adjusted to the conditions throughout the game.
Absolutely. It was freezing cold. And just hitting people, kind of you could feel it a lot more than usual. So we usually just put on some layers and we just played our usual football, hard physical, hard-nosed football.
Yeah, I'm sure for you, you're always on the field, so it didn't really matter. You weren't getting too warm on the sideline, or too cold on the sideline. But for you guys as a team, I mean, not a perfect season. You guys had the 1 loss against St. James, but you guys didn't give up a touchdown in postseason play until the late fourth quarter, and it was the backups that were in that gave up that touchdown. I mean, talk about the season where you guys just dominated the competition. How awesome it's been just being able to flex your muscles all season long.
Absolutely. All the hard work we put in over the summer, kind of just like seeing it translate to the field, like just dominating teams physically and like mentally, like teams just did not want to play us anymore by the second half. And so that was like a great feeling to see.
And I kind of talked about that a little bit. You guys make teams really not enjoy playing football. I think that's something you guys can hang your hat on. But going back to that St. James Academy game, that one had to be a heartbreaker for you guys, losing on a field goal that gets blocked in the last minute, but a really tough St. James Academy team. Talk about what you guys learned about yourselves after that game.
We got our heads too high before that. We were 6-0 going to that game, just beat our rivals, just beat Northwest 2 weeks before that. And so just coming off those games, we had our heads a little bit too high, and St. James gave us a good little nod to our ego. And so we brought us back down to earth. And so after that, we were on fire, and just we did not want to experience that loss again.
And you brought up the Northwest game as well. That had to have been a turning point for you guys during the season. You guys get down 28-0 against one of the most talented teams in the state, and it's business as usual. You guys just keep chipping away, kind of similar to the game that you guys had against them a couple of years ago, but on the opposite end. Talk about how you guys manufactured that comeback, and then just like the feeling about yourselves after that game.
Absolutely. Getting down 28, it was never a good feeling. And so when we got that first stop coming out, and then we scored, and then we went into halftime 28-14. We knew we had a shot, but we had to keep pushing and keep being physical. And then finally at the end of the game, in overtime, when King got that last touchdown, we knew we were going to win. And so, just that feeling after was special.
Yeah, and you were a big part of last year's team as well. Kind of talk about what makes last year's team that ended their season in sectionals to this year's team. What makes you guys so different than last year? Where did you guys feel like you improved the most?
Last year we had 18 new starters, and so we were a young team, inexperienced. And so, just coming out this year, we knew we had experience. We knew what we could do. We knew what we were capable of, and we actually came out and did it.
And you just wrapped up your high school football career. Kind of talk about what you're going to miss the most for high school football.
Definitely the practices and just like the film sessions with all my guys and Coach Burr's room. There's pretty special bonds I built here, and so I'm going to miss all my guys.
And what do you enjoy the most about playing football?
Hitting people.
And then what's next for you in your football career? You're a senior this year. Kind of talk about what's next for you.
I'm committed to Navy, so I'm looking forward to the military side of things and just like being on the East Coast. It's beautiful out there, so I can't wait.
And your brother, I believe, went to Navy as well. Talk about like how much he might have influenced that decision.
He did. He's told me everything about Navy, so I know pretty much what I'm getting into. So I can't really wait because he'll be a coach up there when I'm up there. So it'll be pretty nice to see him and be around him more often.
Yeah. And when you look back at this season, what was your favorite part of this season?
Honestly, beating Northwest felt better than the state championship one just because it was a close game, like down 28, going up 43-42 in overtime, and then instead of beating Miege 56-21, and it was like a pretty easy game.
Yeah. And for Coach Schartz, that was his magnum opus. 38 years as a head coach at a lot of different destinations. Talk about what it means for you guys to give him that state championship.
Absolutely. You know, in playoffs, like Schartz, we were beating teams 63-0, 62-0, 64-0. Like teams just didn't want to play us, but Schartz knew he couldn't let off on us, so he kept pushing us, kept making us play our best because we could always play better. And so Schartz stayed on us because we knew we had to get it for him, and we ended up getting it for him.
And you're going to have a lot of free time over these next couple of months. What are some of your hobbies that you like to do?
Lifting. I got some powerlifting I'm going to do, and then probably resting and playing video games.
What's your best video game?
Ooh, probably college football 26. I'll just use my brother.
And then what's a fun fact about you that somebody may not know?
My cousin is the quarterback of Kapaun.
Okay. You and Cole Rapp?
Yeah, we're cousins.
Okay. Well, Cal, congratulations on a great season. Best of luck at the Naval Academy, and congratulations on a state championship.
Thank you, sir.